Well, it's lovely to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well.
So it's been just over a month since Prism came out.
Yeah.
It came on the heels of, Teenage Dream was wildly successful, broke all kinds of records held by Michael Jackson. I mean, who breaks
Didn't
Michael
break
Jackson?
the record. Tied.
Tied.
Don't get those
Fair
Michael
enough.
Jackson fans upset.
No, we won't.
I respect
but fair
them.
enough. Fair enough. Tied with Michael
Yes.
Jackson. Still.
I'll take that.
It's good enough. Not too shabby. It's been over a month now. In terms of, it's done very well. You're kind of gauging how the fans are responding to it. How are you feeling about it? Are you happy with the final product?
Oh, yeah, very happy. I was thrilled, so excited to be able to get the new music out and the new vibe and perspective, because it had been 3 years since I had put out a full record. I had done a deluxe of Teenage Dream that provided Wide Awake, and part of me, Wide Awake being written for the documentary that I did. So, there was some extra stuff to tie over the fans, but yeah, my record cycles are 3 years long, really. They're long. They're different. I kind of do it the old school way. I like to try on 5-6 singles per album. So that being said, my records, I think, become more fully realized towards the end of the cycle. Like if we sat down in 2015, it'd be a whole different conversation because I would have already done 6 music videos or 7 music videos, but they're not, they're not sprints. They're marathons. They are kind of develop over time. And I think it's developing great. I think Roar has done something really great. It's become larger than I ever imagined it could be. It's taken on a life of its own, and Unconditionally is kind of on its way up as well, and people are resonating with that song. And then there's going to be so many other fantastic songs to come out of this record.
Tell me, I remember at the time you were writing this, you said this is going to be a very different record than Teenage Dream. It may be a bit darker. Listening to it, there's certainly darker songs on it, but it still has that quintessential Katy Perry sunny vibe that people love about you.
Can't get away from that California girl.
How did you marry those two?
Well, I think I might have spoke a little bit too soon in whatever interview I happened to say that it could have been darker, because I wasn't finished with the record and the journey wasn't done in making the record. But yes, when I started, it was seemingly going to be a moodier record, maybe with a little bit more angst. I was in a different place in my life. All of a sudden, my life took a right turn. And through that, a lot of wonderful things happened that influenced my songs, positive things that happened. And the songs became more joyful, more hopeful, more full of love, more full of color and life. And so they became very prismatic. And that's why I named the record Prism, is because I let that light in and it influenced the songs, and now I get to beam it out to all my listeners with these wonderful colors attached, wonderful storylines. So it makes me feel very prismatic.
Tell me, just in terms of you keep on expressing yourself and being the artist that you want to be, writing these honest songs on the one hand. On the other hand, you do have a very young fan base that you're very connected to. And do you ever feel like those two are in conflict with each other? Do you feel pressure to sort of, ooh, can I write that? Do I have to make that double entendre a little more coy in case a 6-year-old is listening to it, or a 16-year-old? Do you feel those two are in conflict, or is it something that just kind of naturally gets resolved?
I stayed true to myself and my artistry, and I didn't come into this world saying I wanted to be a role model. I don't mind if I'm an inspiration. Most definitely I don't mind that, because, I do live my life with integrity, and I work really hard, and hopefully people see that and want to do that as well, or are inspired by that. But a role model, when you call yourself a role model, it's like you're setting yourself up to fail, because I'm only human. I will fail. I will probably have some kind of scandal in my life that will cut to actually from this piece where I said there will be scandal. But, I think that you just hear this, hopefully you hear this authenticity in the content of my songs. And I do use double entendre. I am such a double entendres. I am such a huge fan of words and language, and I'm such a fan of language because it allows me to communicate with my audience better and the listener better, and to paint with more colors when I know more language, more phrases, more ways of speaking. And so I don't think about how to edit myself. I just write, and I know that I have been raised with a good moral compass that helps me kind of straddle the line of like sexy but not overly overdoing it or being too scandalous. But I'm not looking to be, a Doris Day, or even though I love Doris Day, but like a goody two shoes or anything like that. I think I'm right on the line of just enough. I feel I think I'm like a little dangerous, but not too much. But I don't think that I will always be what is appropriate for everyone, but I just have to tell my story. And that's what I'm here to do.
That's great. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
this. Really nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you as well.